Catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.
And of course, we can kickstart the stories for the day by asking our governors, our presidents, our elected leaders to please lead us well, govern us well. Please direct us to where we know. No carry us go where we don't know. Yes, of course, I'm going all the way to Zimbabwe this afternoon. I mean, if you're following the Zimbabwe currency, they're one of those people. I just want to get into their head and see like what's really going on here. Do you know that Zimbabwe currency have up to trillion Zimbabwe dollars? Yes. So they usually have their currency in Zimbabwe dollars, and one Zimbabwe dollars is almost equals 839 Zimbabwe dollars. Yes. But the problem is they're having a financial crisis. I mean, we're talking about inflation. We're talking about the economic uncertainty that most African countries are facing. But Zimbabweans are elite people. Trust me, guys. When we Nigerians think that we know how to solve our problems, Zimbabweans, I doff my heart for you guys, because these people are currently having a financial crisis and decided to start printing their own currency notes. Oh my goodness, how bad could an economy be? I'm sorry I'm cracking at a very serious situation right at hand, but just thinking of how Africans are very resilient, and see, anywhere you meet Africans, they will always find a way to survive. See, anywhere you just see them, you find them in the cracks. Anywhere in the world, you will find Africans. And trust me, especially Nigerians, I know. And when you come to Nigerians again, we still have another breed or tribes or particular set of people who, when they find themselves anywhere, even if a cockroach could exist there, a Nigerian exists there, it would make business for himself. I know you know what I'm talking about. If you're really like into Africans or you're African, you just know where my story is going, especially if you're Nigerians. Yes. So Zimbabweans are actually printing their own currency notes and of course having an exchange like trade for barter situation just because their currency is under duress at the moment. Zimbabwe people have their currency up to $100 trillion. I don't know, like that number blows my mind. What do I have to do to earn that kind of money? I don't even know how big that is. I'm going to try to check what Zimbabwe currency is to Naira, because if someone should just dash me one Zimbabwe $100 trillion. I don't know, Zimbabwe currency. It's amazing, right? The numbers. I remember when I heard this thing, when they introduced these notes, because they were formerly a billion, then they decided to move it to trillion. It's just like the way Nigerians were currently at 200 naira, and they decided to introduce 500 naira and 1000 naira notes. There was a whole lot of controversy back then. Even speaking, Nigerians also have new currency right now. What's up with Africans and currency situation? And when they cause this change, they don't improve the economy. Why? It's like you're advocating for us to increase how we spend our money, making it easier for us to carry cash around. And now we're in a cashless situation right now, cashless policy everywhere. Are we still going to be operating on this kind of policies? What are the framework when our leaders are creating these financial policies? All of these things are interesting conversation we should be having. And of course, right now that people are looking to invest their money in black-owned banks, I'm sure all banks right now would want to tap into that, because that's a great opportunity for black people, that money would be invested in black banks. I don't know how you're thinking about it, but me, I'm seeing money everywhere, like it's raining money in Africa. I sound like a movie, you know those movie trailers that they will do before they now start showing you all of the action. Yes, of course, actions are happening in Zimbabwe as they are changing their money for bread, is it for Gary? Is it for beans or ewa? They're shy exchanging the money, and they decided to print their own notes, irrespective of what their government is doing. There was an interview I watched in regards to this report. It was in 2022, early 2022. There was an interview around how the prime ministers are denying the fact that Zimbabwe is actually under economic crisis. This is one of the reasons you see that citizens make their own laws. Just imagine, because the people they've elected to lead them are carrying them to where they don't know, or taking them somewhere else, and of course disregarding how they feel or what the effect and impact of certain changes are on the citizen. I feel like this should be a great notice out for Africans to actually tighten up when it comes to policy making. Look if it favors you before going into any big change. Let's look at the importance of copyright, and of course I'll play more music and I'll be back.
The moment any creative work that is copyrightable or that has been copyrighted, the creator automatically has ownership over that work. But for the purposes of proof, it's very important that we have some of these notices, and that is where putting up a notice like the letter C enclosed in a circle, that's to tell you that this thing has copyright on it. Also, register that copyright work with the Nigerian Copyright Commission's notification system.
Africa Tech Radio.
Yes, of course, we are your number one Africa's technology radio. We brag different, guys. We brag different because we bring you all of the information happening around the tech ecosystem in not just Nigeria. Sorry, I'm Nigerian. In Africa. So we're going around checking what's happening with our brothers, with our neighboring countries. As long as you're in Africa, we care to know what you're all about and what technology is actually looking like in your zone. Like you heard Tony said, fintech has actually penetrated into the heart of Africa, but I'm yet to hear anything about fintech in Zimbabwe. Still looking at the money crisis. Thanks to Lillian, she was able to help me resolve the currency situation. I was trying to check what one Zimbabwe currency or Zimbabwe dollar is worth in Nigeria. Naira note, and we have here one Zimbabwe dollar is worth 1 naira, 2 kobo and something ekpeni. That's how my grandmother used to say money that has no value after you said naira, kobo. There's nothing there again. Yeah. So that's what it's worth. It's worth 1 naira, 2 kobo. And if you have 5 Zimbabwe dollars, you have 6 naira, 3 kobo. And if you have 10 Zimbabwe dollars, you have with you 12 naira, 7 kobo. That's some money. If you get the 100 trillion Zimbabwe dollar, that's some money right in your pocket. So don't look down on any currency, okay? Look at your own currency and see what you can do to increase the value. I'll drop my mic on that one. But before I drop my mic, I'd like you to listen to this interview with Zimbabwe that was talking about the economic crisis. Let's listen.
The economy going, contributing almost a quarter of our budget through remittances, and also covering the state's failure to. So the situation is now much worse, and we are facing an implosion. As we speak now, Zimbabwe poses serious social, economic, and to an extent security risk, not just to Zimbabwe but to the region, to SADC region. Our analysis is that Zimbabwe is in a big crisis, and it's a crisis of governance. So this crisis is manifesting in 3 levels. We have state-society relations. So I was reading the Zimbabwe Peace Project report. There's a lot of heightened political violence. Just in May, 195 people were attacked.
Actually, they were reporting for the crisis that is happening with the economy, and I was telling you about how businesses in Zimbabwe have now decided to have their own currency. They've decided to make their own notes. They started printing their own money, basically. So they have like scraps of paper. Sometimes they even do it like handwritten notes that customers can use to pay for future purchases, like anything you want to buy, because there is no money in circulation, so they are having the cash crisis, just like there is no cash in Nigeria. So these people decided to do their own note. I'm not encouraging anything, please. I'm not encouraging anything, because they will say it's Bookii of Cruise Control that said we should take alternative to creating our own notes. Please, whatever you do, make sure there is unity and peace around that. Yes, I dropped my case. Moving on, I've been enjoying a lot of throwback music. I've been enjoying old classic music from Africa, and looking at the stories around Apple's new app, which is going to be launched next week. It's going to be launched on March 28th. And of course, they are going to be giving you access to listen to classical music all through. So you're not getting interruption with this new set of sound. Only classical music will be on that app. And they said that it's going to be quick and easy to find any music of your choice as long as it's classical music. But it's worth noting that there won't be this version of the app on the iPad. So for all you iOS users, it won't be available on your iPad. But I know Apple, they just have a way of upgrading their product. I'm sure they'll definitely find a way around it. They'll need you to purchase something. Yeah, and they also confirmed that the offline downloads would not be included when they launch. So for those of you that usually download and listen later, that would also not apply. So you listen as you go, so your money can be rolling as you go. You get it? Yes. They are also saying that this version over the years or in the future would actually appear on the Android version. So they'll create an Android version. I'm sure they have all this planned out because they purchased this rights from Prime Phonic in 2021. So they're definitely working around making it such a great app for everybody to enjoy. But I was just thinking about it because when you think of classical music, these are like Western sounds. These are like, you know how their tune is. I don't know if there's like a definition for classical music. It's just in word classic, like it's not for everybody. It's selective listening, and there's no really like noisy sound. So for people who don't like noise, you can enjoy all of this on Apple Music Classical, coming to you soon. But can African songs make it there? That's my worry. That's what I'm thinking about. Can he actually make it there? I'm really curious, because right now we need a platform where we can go on. In case you steal my idea, I will bring out this show on this day and tell you that this was my idea. Yes, because it's fresh from my head right now. So can we have like an app that has just African songs from way back? I mean, I'm talking about, is it Oliver Twist? Please help me with old music. I know Jemba, Something Brothers also, Victor, Nwanfo. Oh my goodness, we have a whole lot of artists that have given us timeless, old school music that if you play it till today, every African is definitely going to have a great time. It doesn't matter your age, it just brings you close to the soil. You know, son of the soil, proud brown black girl that I am. So that's how I feel about my old music. Like, don't take me too much into the Western culture, okay? But then I like to see all African songs make it to a particular app where I can enjoy it without getting interruption of new music. Stay with us, and of course you can catch up with us on A-Tech Radio on Instagram and Africa Tech Radio on Twitter, and of course Facebook. We are Africa Tech Radio. More stories coming your way, but first let's go for music.
Africa Tech Radio,
your plug for all things tech.
Jo Romeo, Jo mi, Jo, kese, Jo Romeo, for TikTok CEO under US scrutiny. They appeared in court, and of course the questioning. Jo Romeo, Jo for TikTok CEO facing the US panel, and of course he's getting questioned about how Twitter is penetrating their privacy, and of course looking at how they can manage the app, or why the app is unfit for Americans, with the complaints that it's affecting their mental health. And of course he's making Americans lazy, because when you go on TikTok and you want to spend like 5 minutes, before you know it, you're on there for like 2 hours and more. So they've been facing all of this, but is that really like a potential risk? Because when you talk about data privacy, I get it. But when all of this app is coming in, don't they have people who are actually tech worthy? Because the lawyers asking this question are just asking very, very basic question. I've not seen a technical issue yet aside from data privacy. And they also ask him how they have access to Wi-Fi. It's like asking, how do you check the internet? And let me play what this is all about.
Does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. Believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Okay, I'd appreciate it if you could answer that.
Yes. Do you actually use internet? That's just the basic question. To be able to have access to TikTok, do you need the internet? And they're checking all of this because just from the internet, like cloud data, you could actually get access to so much information, guys. Like, this question might be offhanded, but I just, forgive me if I actually say I understand where the congressman question is coming from. But this guy looks so sad answering the question. There's a bit of confusion here and there in his head, trying to understand, what does the US want from me? They also question him as to how teens are being checked on the app. Like, that the guy was just confused. Man was like, I don't tire, but is there an English word to say, please back off? Like, please just leave us alone and let us run. Because when you think about it, they're complaining about mental health. They're complaining about people spending too much time on the app. Remember when Instagram came out and everybody had to be showing off in their best clothes? The reason I cannot wear some of my clothes 2 times is because when you post that picture again, wearing your own clothes that you purchased with your own money, wearing it for the second, third time, it becomes a problem on Instagram. It's like, no, you don't know what's up on this app. We have to see you slaying. A lot of people actually fell into depression because of that, and now they're accusing TikTok of making people fall into depression. If you ask people on the street, though, I feel like it's the other way around, because TikTok has actually given so many people opportunity to earn money. They have a creator fund thing, that feature that they have on the app that helps creator make more money. New people are becoming influencers. Gone are those days in the class, everybody want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineers. Now people want to be a creator. It's opened a space for creator gig also. People can collaborate and work together. Brands have actually used this app to a great advantage. I'm just telling you all of the props. US have their concern in terms of privacy, in terms of how the app operates, and because it's Chinese owned. And they also investigated and find out that TikTok also have another app running in the US. It's called CapCut. I was surprised when I actually found out that TikTok owned CapCut. Can you imagine? These guys are making money. See, right now, any guy I'm dating has to be a techie. Yes. Don't mind me, I'm getting greedy over here, because there's so much money to be made, guys. In case you're wasting your time on TikTok enjoying great content, I know, like I said, enjoying, do make sure that you're thinking of creative ideas that you could use to earn money. I know all of this is because the US actually wants TikTok to hand over the patent rights to US. That's why they are suing TikTok this much. It's a whole lot of Iggy Haga on social media right now, as there are clips of different questioning section that this guy has actually gone through. I don't even know what to say on his behalf, but I feel so sorry for him. I feel super sorry for him going through all of this. When it was asked about kids and how they can actually be controlled, like the teens control on there, he had about how young users can actually be controlled from watching too many TikTok videos. He had to say, I don't know. That's not the exact word. I'm sure you'll find the video. I'm trying to paraphrase, but I'm not getting it right now. So they've now have a feature where they are rolling out new screen time control in just right in time off the back of this old questioning going on. So TikTok has now added a new feature that helps control screen time, and of course default setting for teens, and expand family pairing. So we are ready to just do what you want. That's what TikTok is all about, because they really want their app to go far. They know people enjoy this app, and of course there's so much money to be made. Come on, it's all about the money for me. It's all about the money. But one thing I appreciate about this app is how fast and prompt they were to actually fix the problem that was called to their notice. It might be sad that is going through a court case to actually identify this small problem. Troubleshooting every time is good. You never can tell where you're missing out something. So I'm really happy that they were able to roll out this new screen time control, and of course add a setting for teens and family to pair. Yeah, so it's really what they're going through right now. Hopefully they'll come to a conclusion that works for both TikTok and the US. I'm sure they would want to reduce their time limits also, because hey, TikTok. The most funny thing that happened on TikTok for me will be how people gain followers. Nigerians, I give it up for you guys. I don't know where that originated from, but I feel like it takes me back to the days of Onitsha market. And if you're in Lagos, like Aswani market, like which other market? They used to do it at Oshodi. I don't know. I'm from the street, guys. Pardon me. Yeah. So, you know that thing they will be saying, buy two, buy one, bend down to left, all those kind of things. So on TikTok, there's this vibe that people will come, you're on 1,000 followers, follow 10 to add more. Now we're moving to 1,200. That's the craziest thing I've seen so far on social media, just to gain followers. I don't know who brought out that style, but that was sick. That was very sick, very ghetto-ish, very I don't know, but it really worked. There are other interesting things. Remember all those challenges that people took part in? The dance challenge. People have to be, the one I could do is that stamping of you take a fist and you stamp your two fists, then you roll it, then you throw it up, then you throw it down. I don't know, I practice for you to be able to hear me explaining, because I'm really terrible when it comes to social media challenges. So TikTok also promoted that. It gave people time to ease off stress. So when we're talking about the mental health, I really want to understand what point this questioning are coming from, because they help so many people ease off stress. Do people still do dance challenge? I don't know. Everybody's just up there being cute. And of course, now what's trending is you have to put a post addressing like people, like maybe you're talking about religion, you're talking about mental health, you're talking about breakup, you're talking about what guys do, you're talking about how you escape guys that are chasing you. Like, there are so many things that people come up now with the caption on their post, and of course give you a reaction that is appropriate or funny, or you just get it. TikTok, I see the addictiveness, because you're just in our head. It's like, you know all of our problem and you're trying to fix it. And the US are not happy about that. But welcome to Africa, guys. We enjoy anything and we like anything here. Oh my goodness. Let's go enjoy some great tunes.
Africa Tech Radio.
Yes, you have to choose us for everything tech, everything innovation, invention, even ideas that people have like still building, cooking. We will bring you the information, okay? Right now I was going on the street of Twitter and I came across something around help for nurses, because honestly, yesterday I spent my time looking at digital health and of course looking at the way they have been trying to help people solve some health issues, bring doctor close to people, and of course all of that great stuff. But who helps the nurses? Who helps the doctors too? Yeah, you think they don't need help? Trust me, they do. Have you discovered that doctors and nurses read all the time? Like, while they're checking for your symptoms, something might be slightly not just clicking. So they have to go back to the books to be able to get it. And that's why they pay them such a huge amount, because they need to bury their heads in the book all the time while still rendering service to you. So someone did so good and so well for nurses. So you can share this podcast with anybody you know around the world, because I think these are apps you can actually download on your phone. These are apps that would help nurses with knowing the type of drugs, checking some of the treatments, checking what the symptoms are like, also helping them just going through the landscape of what medicine is all about and how to help them efficiently deliver the service to humanity. So these are few of the apps I would share with you, and of course you can do more research, but right now I think these are of very, very much valuable content. So let's go. First one that you would want to look at is the Epocrate. It's a mini survival guide for nurses and nursing students. With this app, you can learn about different diseases, treatments, medication, diagnostic approaches, and tests. Another app that is also doing the good work is Pepid. It's a drug and clinical resource. It has different versions for professions and include nurses, EMTs, physicians, students, and more. It helps them to understand dosage calculation, which I think is good. And of course, the best part is that this app is free. So you might want to download Pepid or tell somebody who knows a nurse about Pepid app. This app also supports information for elements of patient care. I feel like with these applications that I'm talking about, I'm tired. I went to the dentist 2 days ago and I still had to fill my information with pen and paper. I feel like we should come to a place where I know you fill with pen and paper, give the person attending to you, then the person will now have to type. Why can't we just have a system where as a new patient coming into the hospital and need to see the doctor, I should do this thing on my phone even before I go to the hospital, pay my charges online and everything. So there are really smart people coming into this field. Please, let's try to do smart things, okay? Another app that is actually very good is the Pocket Anatomy. So this is best for pre-nursing students according to the tweets, because I'm paraphrasing mostly what she said and of course dropping a little bit of my thought on it. So she said it's best for pre-nursing students wanting to learn A and P the easiest way. A priceless resources for memorizing the types of bones, muscle, and the human anatomy. It provides the names and structures in easy to study formats. That's actually good. I like to look at the anatomy. Trust me, in my head, I know how it looks with this blue vein, red vein, because they bought the calendar and placed it in my house. So they wanted us to be smart, intelligent, knowledgeable by fire, by force. So you have to be looking at it all the time. So for me, I'll definitely download Pocket Anatomy for the fun of it. And of course, nursing students would definitely benefit from this. This is like a cheat code. You get it? Yeah. So Pill Identifier also is an app you would want to download. It helps nursing students and practicing healthcare professionals. It provides them with a look into the pills and standard physical features, color, shape, and of course, just check what it contains, basically. Medscape is also another one. It provides access to medical directory, continuing education, medical news tailored for different specialty, and a clinical reference to library. So there is another one that is nursing. It's spelled as NRSNG scrub sheets. This app offers guides on topics such as cardiac, pediatric care, pharmacology, neurology, labs, respiratory, gastrointestinal, and endocrine. It has information that are up to date and designed to help find the answers that every nurses need in those areas and field. So yes, I don't know, maybe I might share this on my social so you can actually check. And I'll also try to check with my colleague who handles the social media page and see if this is a good one that we can put up there, just in case you would like to recheck some of these apps that I mentioned. I mean, this is great information. You don't need to do things the hard way. You don't also need to cheat using AI. Why not just download an app that you can actually always swipe out whenever you need it, and it's going to help you with arrays of solutions by professionals, because most of these apps are not just built by techies, they are built by professionals who identify that, oh, we need this in this area, and work with techies and make sure that everything is functional and available for you. Some of them are paid for, some of them are free, but it's still important that you can have a quick solution in your back pocket or in your palm. This is actually a good one. So I guess I'll be doing more of this, because I do come across apps that could help with productivity a lot. So I'll definitely include that into something I'll be doing. I came across and I thought to share. This is Friday, and on Friday we enjoy more music. I would have loved to play you the songs, but I'll try my best as much as possible to make sure that next week's songs are actually queued up on the system before I talk about it. Apologies if that has actually caused any irritation or provocation, because Africans with a quick verse. Calm down, Chale, calm down. I like music, and I always say first, because there's never a last time listening to music. It's always first. Even if I've listened to that song like 200 times, it still gives me fresh vibe, and it's always new. So first, Awilo Lokamba. Yay, because it's Friday. Enjoy.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.